song with Montero, Call Me By Your Name.
Won't he do it?
Who did it? Who do it?
You know who did it.
Jesus! Ooh, Jesus is somebody. But Thandie Newton covers British Vogue.
And she is reclaiming her name, reclaiming her name, reclaiming her name.
Yes, yes. And this Matt Gaetz investigation probes whether campaign funds were used to pay expenses for an underage lover.
Look, you better watch what you're probing before the police show up at the gates.
Listen, all of this and so much more on this week's Mocha in the Morning, where we're adding a little flavor to your morning blend.
Like,
probing. All right, welcome, Mocha Marvels. It's that time for Mocha in the Morning, where we're adding a little flavor to your morning blend. I am your host, Miss Keisha Boyd, and of course, I couldn't do this by myself. I have to have my favorite cafe con leche, my officially Jorge. Ooh, you better swing that. Okay,
I had to practice that one more time to make sure like we got it.
Okay, one more time. My officially Jorge, officially hair.
I heard like a neck bone pop. I was like, ow.
Oh my goodness, honey, that hair looks good though. Like, are you gonna just let it keep growing and growing and growing?
Well, like my thing was that I wasn't gonna cut it until I got a vaccine, right?
Okay.
And so I got my first one, don't hate, vaccinate. And so my second one I get on the 20th, and then you're supposed to wait like another 3 weeks or something like that. Okay. So, but now I'm kind of torn because the other day I was out in the little yard and I was like raking some stuff. Ooh, and it was all in my face. And I was like, oh my God, get out of my face, get out of my face. And I was like, I'm going to chop her off right now. And then I was like, but wait a minute, then I won't be able to do this.
Yes. Or put it in a ponytail when you're playing tennis.
I know, I've been doing that ponytail too. That's when you know it's serious.
It's serious, honey. I love it. Look, you letting it grow and I keep cutting it off. So, hey.
Right?
You stay long hair, don't care. And I'm going to be short girl something. It's just
short girl ruling the world.
There it is. I love it.
Because you can have long hair anytime you want. You just got to buy it.
I sure can, honey. I just got to buy it and put it in.
You're like, Coco.
Now, Coco, like, I can add it, but she's going to make sure it's nice and shaped, when I do. Yes, ma'am. Coco the barber one time. Listen, we have so much to talk about, but first.
Coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And lots.
Like that. Ooh, and boom. And
oh, yeah. Okay, come on. Come through.
She's a roller coaster. Oh, she's so sick. I'm burning up inside, but I can feel no pain. I won't try to stop her. She can't be tamed. I'm so in love with her. I fall and try again. Get up and try again. Get up and try again. Get up and try again.
All right, welcome back, Mocha Marvels. Once again, it's Mocha in the Morning, where we're adding a little flavor to your morning blend. I'm your host, Miss Keisha Boyd, and of course, it's time for Steamers with Officially Jorge. What you got for us today?
I have some great steamers for you, which of course is everything in Black Hollywood and entertainment. So, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Well, their first show on Netflix is coming out, and it's called Heart of Invictus.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so what the tea is, though, Prince Harry came up with this these Invictus games for those who served, and I thought it was really cool. He said that that basically he couldn't be any happier than to be able to, to create this show and put this on. And at the same time, this is a cause that's very near and dear to his heart. So watch out for that on Netflix.
Awesome. We'll be checking it out.
Yeah. And don't forget, they also have some other things happening with Oprah Winfrey. So this is like their kickoff show.
Awesome.
Heart of Invictus. Check that out on Netflix. All right. So speaking of hearts, this steamer may be near and dear to some of our viewers. Well, the very first documentary is called 20 Pearls, and it's all about Alpha Kappa Alpha and that sorority's impact on mankind, period, across the board.
Oh, listen, I am a Delta girl, but I got mad love for my AKA sisters, so that should be very interesting, and we will certainly support.
Well, and the thing is, the director, her name is Deborah Riley Draper, and what she's saying is she's hoping to, let the world know about all the contributions and the history of the sorority. But not only that, she also sees it as a love letter to Black women, and this is all going to be happening on Comcast through their Black experience on Xfinity.
Nice, absolutely.
Yeah, right?
Congratulations.
But hey, congratulations, and on your 113 years.
Yes.
All right, reclaiming her name. Say her name. Say her name. All right, so Tandy Newton is on the cover of British Vogue. Yeah. Now, this is the tea. She is one of the most successful Black actresses right now, in Hollywood. And 20 years ago, when they wrote an article about her, they didn't get some things right about her. And in this particular cover of British Vogue, it's pretty much saying, we're sorry, we should have given you your flowers a long time ago.
Listen.
And at the same time, she's also saying, and you're going to spell my name right.
This time. And every time after that, my name better be spelled right.
The cover is gorgeous. She's so talented and gorgeous. And, she's, let everybody know that she's always been in her roots, but she's just giving you a spell check, basically.
Right.
And I know all about that. People mess up my name all the time.
Oh, my goodness. How dare they?
Look, you know how many times I go swinging across the counter at Starbucks?
You know what? Not at Starbucks. Tighten up, Starbucks. What else you got for us, babe?
Right, so after 30 years, David Allen Grier and Jamie Foxx are reuniting for a new show that's based on Jamie Foxx's real life situation with his daughter. And it is called
Dad, Stop Embarrassing
Me. Dad, Stop Embarrassing Me.
Yeah.
And so that should be something fun to look forward to. And, those two have had an excellent career, and time working together. So it's kind of nice to kind of see them kind of back. Man, Jamie Foxx is in everything.
And it's fun. I saw a Instagram post that Jamie put up. He was so proud because he gets to work with his daughter, and she's an executive producer on this. And I saw David Allen Grier on Jimmy Fallon the other night talking about this show and him and, he and Jamie Foxx's history. And it's so good to see them come together for this show. So I definitely will be tuning in for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the chemistry, is just always there,
Yeah, absolutely.
And so Anyways, and check this out. Oh, this is good. This is good stuff now. All right, so last week there's a little bit of drama.
Hell raising.
Yes, there was some hell. Lil Nas did some big hell raising last week. But I also think that thanks to all the hell raising, he now debuted at number 1 on the Billboard Top 100. I'm not talking all the other charts. I'm talking about the Billboard Hot 100, number 1. You know, he's living his life. He said, y'all told a 19-year-old who had just escaped the lowest point of his life that he would never have a hit again.
And look. Listen, this is a whole nother situation right here. But it's a topic to be discussed for sure. But congratulations to him. Live how you live, be free, do what you feel is best for you and your life.
I mean, number 1 is a number 1.
Number 1 is a number 1. That's right.
So it's kind of like, thanks. And those are, one more thing. Congratulations. Yes. Congratulations. We're going to give a shout out to the new mayor of St. Louis.
Woohoo! Go Soror. Go Soror. Okay.
So we are still in the land of first, and congratulations, Madam Mayor. Is that what you call them?
Yes, to Mr. Shar Jones in St. Louis. Congratulations, my darling, on being the first Black mayor of St. Louis. Awesome. All right, listen, Mocha Marvels, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Piping Hot. Stay tuned.
Mocha in the Morning is brought to you in part by the Portico Cafe, where conversation, connection, and community create change.
All right, Mocha Marvels, welcome back to Mocha in the Morning, where we're adding a little flavor to your morning blend. I am your host once again, Miss Keisha Boyd, and it is time for Piping Hot. And of course, I could not do this with my lovely sisters. So let me go ahead and introduce them. Miss Kenya Woodard.
Happy Friday, everybody. Hey, I'm still grooving from that Isley Brothers playlist. So excuse my bombing.
Hey. All right, Miss Shalette Davis.
Good morning, Mocha Marvels. Happy Friday.
All right, cheeks. And Miss Liz Everett.
Hello, happy Friday. And I agree with Kenya. I'm still working on my dance moves, giving you a little, little arm roll. You know what I'm saying?
Amazing. Listen, we have lots to talk about today, so let's get right into it, ladies. All right, let's talk about, let's go and get this out of the way. The Derek Chauvin case is happening with around, obviously, George Floyd's death. And listen, this better be a slam dunk. This is all I'm gonna say. Now, I know that we've had our past situation where we thought this should be a slam dunk, but this one, they better make him a sacrificial lamb. Do you hear me? Because if they don't, you talk about unrest, you talk about this country is gonna be just, listen, Kenya, let's talk a little bit about the trial and the people that have already testified, the police officers. I mean, come on.
Yeah. So listen, this has been probably one of those trials where you're just like on edge. You're sitting and you're listening or, reading every bit that you can about it, because it's just so fascinating that there's even a trial, right? For all of us who saw the video, we're like, what's to talk about? But, everyone's worthy of due process. So here we are. So let's talk about how, though, there's been some damaging testimony against Chauvin in this case throughout. Let's talk about how they had a use of force expert from the LA Police Department. Let that settle. The Los Angeles Police Department expert came and said, yeah, it was, out of line. It was excessive use of force against George Floyd that Chauvin, did. So you've got all these things coming together that, make it seem like, okay, this just reiterating what, how most of us already feel. Obviously, Chauvin was responsible for George Floyd's death. Can we just get on with it and move on with it? But we have a few more days left in this trial. But I do want to point out that, to your point, Keisha, everyone is looking for a conviction here, right? Everyone feels that Chauvin was responsible and he needs to, be handed the consequences. But let me point out that it only takes the defense to turn one juror, just the one, to decide that maybe Chauvin isn't fully responsible or, there's some reasonable doubt. So just want to caution everyone to kind of, brace yourselves as we go through this.
Shalette?
And we talked about this a little bit in our pre-production meeting, this one juror and just, trying to infuse that little touch of reasonable doubt in order for Chauvin to get off. I'm saying that this trial is so important. I think this is above and beyond the OJ trial. That person, whoever would want to do that, and the only reason I can see any type of juror wanting to go the other way is because of racism, because they are teeing this man up for a conviction. I have never seen anything like this before in all of these trials about Black lives and, police officers killing them. Everyone is basically saying, the police chief is saying this man is guilty. So you would be ruining your life. You actually could be ending your life. I'm not threatening nobody. This is just my personal opinion. If you were to say, oh no, this guy's innocent and what he did was totally within his rights. Absolutely not.
Right. Do you agree, Liz?
I do. And I feel like this is a precedent setter for us. I think, when we look at legalities, how things are passed and trials, right? Later cases can refer to cases, right? And that's how we set precedent. That's how they create and curate legal defense. And so in this case, I really believe that what we as a community are looking at as well is, will there be a precedent set that could defend someone else later on and help that person prove? So I absolutely agree.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so we'll obviously, continue to talk about this as it continues on, but hopefully it won't take the jury long to make the decision that needs to be made. All right, moving on, ladies. Matt Gaetz, okay. Trying to figure out this man spent campaign money to, fund his underage fetish with young women. But what's this about also seeking a preemptive pardon in the final weeks of Trump's presidency? Shalette, what is all that about? Really?
No, I just think I'm just thoroughly entertained by this Panhandle boy. I'm a Panhandle girl. I have been watching this guy, Matt Gaetz, for years. He has been like Trump Jr. For many years, and my sister and I, who also still lives up in North Florida, are just thoroughly entertained by the downfall of this man and the fact that he asked for a preemptive pardon. Dude, you were guilty. You did it. You dirty dog. And I hope he just gets buried. And that's all I have to say. Matt Gaetz, go die.
We can tell she's not a fan, right?
Wow. Gee, I guess it's safe to say Shalette didn't vote for him. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, this, as Shalette said, this has been probably one of those things just has been completely fascinating, right? Every development, you're like, what? It leaves you like wondering what's next. I do want to point out that this whole allegation of him, paying for sex from a 17-year-old is a very serious situation. And it's very, damning. Like, my goodness. Matt has a reputation for being, the eternal frat boy, if you will. But, these accusations against him are, just kind of one of those things. It's like, really? That line was crossed, like, come on. And then of course, this whole situation of him trying to, possibly get these pardons before Trump left office doesn't surprise me at all either. I am curious to see, however, how the other side of this plays out, because, you know, he's trying to say that this also stems from his father being targeted for some kind of extortion situation. It's a whole big mess. And it won't be coming to an end anytime soon. One of his political allies here in Florida, the former, I believe, the election supervisor for the county of Seminole, is coming up for trial in June. And supposedly that's how the ball got rolling. Investigators looking into his situation led them to look at Matt Gaetz. This isn't going to be ending anytime soon. It's probably going to consume us for the rest of the year. So we'll just have to see what keeps tumbling out.
All righty then. I wish I could say something good for you, but I don't have nothing for you, brother. All right, moving on. Get what you got. Okay, listen, there's this whole Zola movie that is Twitter based, and my friends have been talking about it. Now, I'm the first to admit that I didn't know much about it until this movie stuff started coming out. But I have some friends who are like, oh my God, this is so amazing. Oh my goodness. So I'm going to start with our producer and correspondent today, Miss Shalette, who is also a Zola fan. Please do tell.
No, so they call this the greatest stripper saga ever tweeted. And whenever it came out years ago, it's like 2017, around that time, it was the first time on Twitter someone had told, like, well, in my opinion, the first time on Twitter, someone had told like an entire saga in 140 characters or less. And she was like, y'all listen to this right here. And it was like this whole story about how she was in Detroit working at a restaurant. This girl, you know, she met her, they clicked. She was like, you want to come down to Florida and make some money? Actually, I think it's come down to Tampa and make some money. And she's like, yeah, it was just, it's so entertaining. And they have done such a good job with this trailer, the quality of the actors in there. I'm really excited about it, and you should be too.
I mean, listen, Liz, honey, we got a whole Twitter movie around the city. Okay. Are you excited, girl?
Well, let me just say that I actually just read the article and just watched the trailer. And I mean, we all know Tampa is one of the stripper capitals of the South. Like, let's be real, guys. Let's be real, okay? So this does not shock me. I think it's so cool and so interesting, you know, the way that social media is allowing us to create new narratives, right? And I'm here for it. I mean, you go, girl. I was here for the trailer opens with her like laid out, like swinging across. I'm like, oh, celebrate yourself, queen. Come on now.
Kenya?
Oh, listen, so when it came out, I remember being glued to my phone to read the entire thread, right? It was amazing. The storytelling, the detailing, the characters, it was awesome in the Twitter, right? So I can't wait for the movie. But I remember when it came out, people were like, oh, she's making this up. This isn't true. Listen, I don't care. Okay, the story is just that good. So whether it's fake or not, I'm here for it. I can't wait. I won't be in the theaters to watch it, but I will watch it eventually.
Our producer says very Trampa Bay.
It's very Trampa Bay. It's very Trampa Bay. You gotta watch it.
Listen.
Oh my gosh.
Some people's lives though are better than fiction. I mean, let's be real, right? Like I'm one of those people that I look at my friends sometimes and I'm like, does this happen to anyone else? She's like, no, I've never. I'm like, see, this is why I don't tell nobody nothing, because this is crazy. You know, some people's lives are better than fiction. So it could be. And let's be real about Tampa Bay. Like all the things happen in Tampa.
Listen.
That's true. That's true.
Listen, we win championships and championship. You know what? That was so bad.
We know how to get down. We know how to get down. Tampa Bay.
Whatever kind of fun you're looking for, we got it. Okay.
Can we have Tampa Bay t-shirts made?
Ooh.
Girl, they probably already got up on Amazon somewhere. Let me go Google it somewhere.
Oh
I
my
mean, but that'd be a
God.
cute group picture.
Listen, I am not fooling with y'all, I promise. Let's move on now to talk about some zaddy business. Okay. All right. If you have been under a rock for the last, 4 days, the internets all the grandmas, aunties, their granddaughters, and the nieces are swooning over Mr. Ron Isley. Now, let me tell y'all something, and y'all can say what you want and laugh at me. It took me a good minute. I was like, did they find, is that Ron? Is that Ron Isley?
Girl, Ron
Baby, I was like,
snatched.
What? Come on, COVID. Something. Is this the beard? You grew the beard during the pandemic. It does you well. It did you well. Listen, that 79-year-old man looks good. Okay. Okay. All right.
Well, his wife is 44 and she looks amazing.
Oh, yeah.
So
She's
I'm
fine, too.
yeah, she done went and got him all the way together because there's a picture of like, 20 years ago, Ron Isley that we know with the wrinkles all in his face and slick back hair and not so, and now she got him together. I promise you. All the injections.
Oh.
Listen.
Some Botox, some nip and tuck,
Listen.
some
honey,
digging.
Hold on. But see, Liz, let's talk about this man's fashion.
Well, hello, okay. He's in these celebrity streets. Photographer Robert Ector did these photos for him. And let me tell you something. When you get on his Instagram, it's this photo of him and his brother in the what looks like an old school elevator for me. Okay. He's out there in these interwebs getting his whole life, right? Just like Steve Harvey's wife. His wife got him what? She slapped that whip, got him together, not together, okay? all the way together.
I like that.
Okay.
Y'all know Steve used to wear them big old Zook suits, right?
In them loud
Have you guys
colors
ever
with the
heard
matching gangsters?
him tell the story?
Girl, listen, Margie was like, no, sir.
Although I did have a friend say that he did look like a giant Jolly Rancher in that first suit.
Oh, you talking about Steve? Yeah, Steve wanted to be important so bad. He wanted to be relevant so bad. I was just like, can you just be quiet? I had turned away. I turned away because I was just like, this is not a Steve Harvey show.
It's not. It was the Ron Isley show. It wasn't even an Earth, Wind, and Fire Isley Verzuz. It was the Ron Isley show for real.
Yeah.
He just
Now,
ran with it. I'm here
Brother
for it.
Ernie and that guitar, baby. Brother Ernie and that guitar for me.
Mr.
I was
Magic
like-
Fingers. Yeah.
I'm like, you better play the guitar with your teeth in behind your back.
Yeah. Yes. I think Ernie's been listed as like one of the top 25 guitar players of all time or something. Like the man can burn on that guitar, okay? He knows what he's doing.
Listen,
Yeah.
Ron Isley posted a picture of him and Dr. Dre in the studio saying they got new music coming. It's going to be the top seller. Trust me. That
I want the
cover-
autograph copy, okay?
Listen, Liz, that cover is going to be so nasty. Ooh.
Girl, I'm gonna need to take a day off for the cover, okay? 'Cause he got me together.
How
I
the
say,
tables
yes,
turn.
honey, there is a as my mom used to say, there might be some snow on the roof, but there's a fire in the furnace.
Oh, wait now. Wait a minute. My grandmother used to tell me, stay away from old men because they might give you worms.
The worms.
Now,
What?
now I'm wondering, well, what kind of worms we talking about? Just saying. I'm just following the meme. The meme said the same thing.
Oh my God, that is
Hey.
so crazy.
Now I got questions, Annie Ruth. What kind of worms we talking about?
I want them.
No, we don't pipe it hot calling out people's grandmas.
You know what?
Hey, she my grandma. I
Listen.
can call her out.
She can call her out. Thank goodness. All right, listen, y'all. Before we end piping hot, I know we're in a good mood, happy mood, but we are definitely, thinking about DMX and this ordeal. It's just so sad to see that another one of our great music icons, that they're in this, caught up in this drug web. If you haven't heard, he suffered an overdose and heart attack or 3. I don't know. Either way, he was not doing well. His family's was by his side the last time we checked in, and it's just really, really important that we take the time to honor those living legends that we have now with us, because we just never know. We just never know what they're going through. And he's been very transparent. He was very transparent about his addiction to drugs and how he got addicted at like 14 from a mentor of his, which is just sad. It's just sad, you know, and to think that this man is how old, in his 50s, gotta be, and have been battling with this addiction since his young teen years. So yeah, this is, you know, so we're certainly sending the most positive energy to, you know, him and his family and those, you know, his loved ones during this time, for sure. All right, ladies, I appreciate you. I hope that you have the most amazing weekend. I am going to be celebrating my grandmother. My grandparents are visiting my aunt and uncle too, and we're doing a birthday party for my grandmother at my house. So I'll be like doing menus and decorations and stuff, preparing for a birthday party tomorrow.
All right. Happy birthday, Grams.
And honey, grandma, she can't stand too long. She like to get up and do a little jug. So I'm gonna have all her good music. She like to drink her little margarita, her little what she call it? Give me one of them red drinks, which is a strawberry daiquiri. So she
I love it. Hey, listen, don't play that Verzuz playlist. You might not see Grams and Grandpa.
honey. Okay.
You know what?
Yes. I'm gonna play that. Yeah, I'm gonna play that and so much more. So happy birthday, Grandma Bay.
Oh,
yeah.
and congratulations to our remote contributor, Kia Shakur.
Oh, yes.
Oh my God.
They're here.
They're here. Yay.
The babies are here.
And they're
like,
adorable.
yes.
So
So
cute.
that's why you guys haven't been seeing Kia, is because, you know, she's just birthing a couple humans, you know. So
Multiple.
yes,
Multiple.
amazing. And they're adorable. So adorable. So congratulations to the Shakur family. All right, ladies, we gotta run. Mwah, 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 mwah. See you next week. You guys stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Mocha in the Morning coming right up.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Hey everyone, this is Kenya with a really quick political minute for you. So there's been a lot of talk about a law that Georgia's legislature recently passed that kind of pretty much revamped election laws in the state. The Republican-led legislature pretty much said, hey, listen, we need to tighten up our election laws because there could be, you know, a rampant fraud and whatnot. Although there have been statements from the Secretary of State in Georgia, who is also a Republican, saying there's no such thing as election fraud in this state, and at least not in the past 2 elections that have been held. But nonetheless, this law that was passed does a few things that have a lot of people concerned. The first thing it does is it makes it illegal for anyone to bring water or food to folks standing in line to vote. Now, remember, Georgia has some of the longest lines when it comes to voting, especially for their primaries, which are held in June, in the middle of the summer, right? But now, if you decide that you want to assist your fellow citizen and encourage them to stay in line and bring them food or drink, you could possibly face a misdemeanor. Another thing that the law does is that it makes it requirement for people to submit a photocopy of their ID if they're voting by mail. So if you have an ID, you have to take a copy of it, submit it with your ballot when you mail it, otherwise it won't count. Well, sounds good, right? But for those folks who do not have a state ID or any other acceptable form of identification, this can make it a little tougher for them to vote. And then finally, the state has put into law that the counties can now have drop boxes so that, you know, people can drop off their ballots to vote. Sounds good. However, there's some limitations to this. First of all, you have to be able to get to a early voting site to access this drop box. It can't just be hanging around on the corner like mailboxes, right? And then you have to do it 3 days before the election because you can no longer cast your ballot in a drop box during early voting times. So these things have made it a little bit difficult, some say, for voters in Georgia to get their votes cast. And it remains to be seen how this will play out in the future, but also keep in mind that there are more than 200 bills floating through other state legislatures with some similar provisions in them. So we'll keep an eye out. This has been Kenya Woodard with your Political Minute.
The views and opinions expressed on Mocha in the Morning are those of the authors and do not necessarily reflect the official position of the show, its producers, staff, and sponsors.
Your Mocha Minute is brought to you by Black in Florida, your online connection to everything that's Black in Florida.
Hello, Mocha Marvels. It's Liz Everett, and I want to wish you a happy Friday. I'm your style and beauty guru, award-winning image strategist, and you guys know I love helping you rock life like a runway. Now, before we get started with this week's fabulous, piping hot beauty segment, make sure you go over to Instagram and follow me at Styled by Liz Everett. There, you'll find daily style and beauty inspiration that will keep you looking and feeling your best and out of that horrible style rut that we all get into. All right, ladies, let's get into it. Okay, so number one, I have to start with one of my new favorite treatments. That is castor oil for your eyebrows. Now, you can get just an organic castor oil from Walmart or Target. I actually got this from Amazon. It's by Beauty IBE, that, with this fabulous spoolie brush, right? And literally you just take it out, put a little bit on the dropper, and brush your brows and brush your lashes, and you are ready to go. And over the last couple of months, I've seen really great regrowth. Now, the next one, of course, I always tell you guys about vitamin C oil. It really helps you keep your skin bright. I prefer Mario Badescu's vitamin C oil. And lastly, you are gonna love this. Organic coconut oil. I absolutely love it. I take a little bit of my bronzer, pour it in, and I have a ready-made bronzer oil. You're welcome. Looks great on your legs and your skin, especially if you're taking a great beach vacation or you just want to walk around with that glow. All right, guys, I hope you loved it. I certainly love doing it for you. Make sure you head over to @Styled by Liz Everett. Can't wait to see you there, and I'll see you next week right here on Mocha in the Morning.
Hey, Keisha, guess what?
What?
Do you want to shine?
Like a diamond?
Yay! Well, all you have to do is squeeze on the new Burst Charcoal toothpaste.
Oh.
And you know how like a lot of charcoal toothpaste are kind of abrasive? Well, this one is not. And it's coconut salt. It's not very coconutty, not very abrasive. And if you have sensitivity issues, it's no problem at all whatsoever. So all you have to do is squeeze and you'll shine.
Shine. I could use a little bit of that. I can use a little
right? I mean, because really the only thing white we want on our show.
Yeah.
Burst Charcoal Toothpaste. Whitens teeth, no sensitivity, and it's naturally awesome. Go ahead, squeeze it, and I bet it'll make you shine.
Good morning, Mocha Marvels. It's your girl, Dr. Jen Green, coming to you from Honolulu. I wanted to touch base today about an app that I use called Truebill. Truebill is really cool because it actually monitors how much you bring in and how much goes out so that you can kind of determine what your true spending is. One thing that me and my husband learned this month is that we spent a large amount of money on groceries. And granted, groceries are very expensive here, but we should not be spending that much. So I want everybody to take some time to download Truebill and start to monitor how much you spend. So that's just a little tip coming to you from the Mocha Money Minute.
Take a look at this week's Mocha Moment featuring the Shakur twins. Congratulations to our contributor Kia and her husband Omar. They have two beautiful twins, a boy and a girl. Take a look. All right, Mocha Marvels, we have had a wonderful, wonderful show.
You know what? I wanted to get in on the earth, wind, and fire conversation and piping hot.
Why? Because your hair looking like
I want to look. I'm trying to get my hair. What's his name? Is he earth, wind, or fire?
He one of the elements. I don't know.
I'm like, because and I was like, well, can I be water? Can I be somebody? I mean, can I be something?
Mm-hmm. You can be whatever you want to be. It shall be.
I want to be groundwater. That's what I want to be.
Listen, y'all, we love you. Thank you for tuning in again this week. Verdine White, that's his name. Listen, please share the show. Tell other people, your friends, family to, follow us on all platforms at Mocha Morning Show. We want more Mocha Marvels. So, hey, why not share us? I had such a great time with y'all. We all had a great time. Jorge, thank you for always being the yin to my yang. I love you very much. And we will see you next week. Bye.
But we can't go just yet until we drop that beat.
Hey.
I feel like I should wear a leopard fur coat for the rest of my life.
At least a boa.
But not too constricted.
Right.
Because apparently that's what he got. He got that nice little wife he got.
Listen. Whoop.